Alrighty, welcome back to another video. And today, we're going to be talking about the difference between the perfect game and your favorite game. Now, these are still based on opinion. Your favorite game is just whatever game you enjoy playing the most. And the perfect game can just be a game that you believe is the perfect game, one that has no flaws. So, we'll use my two as an example. My favorite game, Sonic Heroes. Now, for people who've played Sonic Heroes, you know it's not perfect whatsoever. Controls slippery. Rail Canyon can just be a mess. And the game just overall just isn't the best. It could be so much better. But it is still considered to me and a lot of people as their favorite video game of all time. And again, it has nothing to do with the quality of the game. Sometimes, yes. But for the most part, it's just a game that people have the best memories with. So we'll take me, for example. I ended up going to this game store, and I was looking for Sonic Heroes, because I've always enjoyed the Sonic games up to that point, but I've never played a proper 3D Sonic game. The only other one I've played was Sonic Generations. And yeah, that one is, 3D, but it's 3D and 2D. I wanted a classic Sonic feeling game. So, we go to the store, we're looking around, I go look on the website beforehand, and it said it's in stock. It's there. So I'm like, I was all excited. I got there. I asked the clerk, hey, do you have Sonic Heroes? He checks his computer. No, we don't have it. Well, that sucked. And that made me feel horrible. So I go in and I look at the little container that they had a bunch of original Xbox games in. And I was looking through and I saw a bunch of games. Halo, Halo 2, Crash Bandicoot. And I went through the first time, nothing. Because I didn't expect the spine of the cover to have like clouds on it. I didn't really know what I was looking for. I was just looking for something that said Sonic Heroes. So I missed the game the first time. But I went back because I was encouraged to keep looking by myself. And eventually, I came across Sonic Heroes in it. And I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, the clerk said it wasn't there. And it's here. I'm so happy. So I ended up getting it. And I came home. I was so excited. Popped it in my original Xbox. And I had the time of my life. It was so good. It was so worth it. And the best part was the game was only like $20. It was a steal. And to me, that's a perfect price for a game like that. If anything, I would have put it up at $30. I would have still paid that. But I thought it was the perfect price. And I just kept enjoying it. I liked the story. I'm not too much of a story guy. I think The Legend of Zelda, especially Ocarina of Time, has the perfect amount of story for me. Once a game has too much story, meh, don't like it. Sonic Heroes still has some story, but is able to keep it more more gameplay than story. Focus more on the gameplay, what I'm trying to say. And I just kept playing it over and over and over again, and I enjoyed the soundtrack. Actually, I have it saved, so I do listen to the soundtrack very often, and I enjoyed playing through all 4 campaigns, and then the last campaign, which is also called Last, pretty funny, and I just enjoyed the heck out of it. And I still play it to this day. Like, right after this video, I may just start playing it again. Because I just love it so much. It's just so good. And that's why it's my favorite game. But it's far from the perfect game. Now, what I think is the perfect game, again, may differ from what you think is the perfect game. But for me, it's Mega Man X. Now, disclaimer, Mega Man X2 is really, really good. But I just have better memories, and I just think Mega Man X1 overall is just the better game. So, for this one, I have some nostalgia for it. I mean, I'm 15, so I'm not, too old to be like, back in my day, these were the games we used to play. Or see someone live streaming it and be like, those were the days. But back in grade 8, a couple of years ago, or even grade 7, really, it goes a while ago. And I used to play that game all the time on emulators. And sometimes I would play that over doing my work, but I just enjoyed it so much, I didn't even really care. So I kept playing it over a period of time, and I just kept enjoying it more and more. And I've gone online and I've seen so many people say Mega Man X is so good. I actually haven't seen a good bad review about it. Like, I've seen one bad video about Mega Man X saying that game's not even good, blah blah blah. But then you look at the things he's complaining, and he's just complaining about the first stage and how you can't clear this jump. The jump's too hard, and when you fall directly into a pit, and you just die. And I'm like, first of all, there's a wall jump you can do, so you can save yourself from any fall as long as you get close enough to the wall. Secondly, it's a pit. Of course that's what's going to happen. What, you think there's just going to be a platform down there that you just fall on and then make it easy? No, this is back in the 90s. Things were going to be difficult. And I think that's part of the charm. Mega Man X is a game where it's almost about memorization. It's like Sonic in a way, where it focuses on replayability. Sonic is, you play the stages enough to eventually get a good time. And over a course of time, you play it more and more, you get better times. That's kind of like the whole replayability of it. Mega Man X is you replay it more and more to figure out the best path and, get to the boss quicker and easier. And, over time, I just kept playing it. I found new ways to play it, better ways to play it, legal ways to play it. And I've just come to love it so much, and I've come to see the beauty in it, and I truly believe this game has zero downsides. One probably criticism that people would say with Mega Man X is that the final boss is way too difficult. Like, the final form of the final boss. There's like 3 forms. You fight his dog, then you fight him with a lightsaber, and he's like bouncing off walls. And then his head falls off, and then his head turns into a wall. And he shoots fire, and he has these little arm platforms with spikes on the bottom that come down and try to crush you. So you have to jump on the platforms, then start shooting his face. But it's actually really difficult to stay on those platforms. Overall, the boss fight is just really actually pretty difficult. And I think it's a perfect challenge because it's the final boss. It's supposed to be difficult. If you got to the final boss very easy, like if you got to the final boss easily, and you should expect some challenge. You shouldn't expect it to be, nice and easy. Just rise to the top and press the button like in New Super Mario Bros. 2. No. It has to be difficult because Mega Man X is a difficult game. I've played this game over 1,000 times, it feels like. So I know my route. I know what I have to do. And I'm not going to say I've mastered it, but I'm going to say I've gotten pretty good at it. And I had a buddy of mine who we got into an argument, and he said that Cuphead was really difficult. And I haven't played Cuphead at all. But from what I've seen, it doesn't look that hard. It genuinely looks kind of like Mega Man X. You just have to take your time on it, that's all. And so I said, yeah, the game looks as difficult as Mega Man X. And he had the audacity to tell me, Mega Man X is easy compared to Cuphead. I mean, I've seen you play it, and it looks so easy. Cuphead is actually really difficult. And that's when I said, that's because I've played it 1,000 times. I know every little piece to collect. I've played it so many times that I could probably write down the entire game, all of its levels, on the back of my hand. And he's only played Cuphead a couple times. So there's really no contest there. Mega Man X is difficult. So don't go into it thinking, oh yeah, Mega Man X is so easy, especially watching people play it. And the reason why they seem so good at it, or they make it seem like Mega Man X is easy, is because, like me, they've played it 1,000 times. So, and I think, again, that just adds to it, making it even better. The difficulty. It makes it so that way every time you play, you advance. You get a little better. You get to a new spot. You find something new. And it's just such an incredible game. Even the story, too. It's not talked about very much, but this game takes place after all the original Mega Man games. And seemingly that the original city where Mega Man 7 takes place and all those locations from the past Mega Man games seemingly are just gone and replaced like this massive city. So I don't know where that went, but it's never talked about throughout any of the X games because there's like 8 of them. So that's still a big mystery, which I'd like to be solved. But overall, Mega Man X is genuinely a perfect game. If you haven't played it, there's 1,000 ways to play it, and I highly suggest to. Trust me, it is such a good game, especially if you enjoy games like Cuphead or Contra. You may like Mega Man X. Now, with all that being said, time to answer the question. What is the difference between your favorite game and the perfect game? Which is pretty obvious to answer, I think, now that I've summed everything up. Your favorite game is built on memories, whether it's nostalgia or you've got it just very recently, which recency bias, so can't really say that. Again, is based up on memory. You enjoy playing the game because of the way it makes you feel, or you used to play it all the time as a kid. So now you just enjoy playing it because it reminds you of your childhood. Or, the memory of how you got it, like how I got Sonic Heroes. That's a great memory. And having that memory link to just a really good game is the equation for your favorite video game. And the perfect video game can also be a bit of memory based, but for the most part, it's just a game that you think is perfect. A game that you think there's nothing bad about it. And again, the perfect game is based off of your opinion. Not everyone likes Mega Man games. Not everyone likes 2D shooter games. So Mega Man X won't be your favorite game, or won't be the perfect game for you. But something else could be the perfect game. I don't know, the new Super Mario Bros. Series. One of those could be your favorite game. So it really just depends on you. So keep that in mind and just think about it. What is your favorite game, and what is your personal game that you think is the best? Answer that in the comments below, and I'll try to respond to as many as I can. And thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.